1, 2, 3. All right, you guys. Hey, guys. OneManOneCamera here. I had a little trouble getting everything set up. We're on the strip today. It is Saturday, July 29th. Nice day. Only about 95 degrees on the Deuce going north. Got the old GoPro hooked up, attached to the bar upstairs on the front, near the front chair, near the front seats, so we get a nice bird's eye view. All right, let's check things out. It's been quite hot in Vegas these past couple of weeks, but we did have some rain the last couple of nights. Heavy rain showers came in with a lot of thunder and lightning. Some areas got flooded. I know the Link parking lot gets its, every time it rains over half an inch, it floods thing going on the last couple of nights, but that's all right, though. So right now I'm going to head up to the MusMus experience, just check things out. So how are you guys doing? Let's check it out. So today we're going handheld with the microphone today because it's kind of noisy, and so I need to keep the microphone close to the old mouth in order to get some decent audio. I hope it works fine. If not, I will just use music and make up some lame excuse. Haha. Hey guys, OneManOneCamera here. So we're riding on the strip. Now I hopped on the bus at the South Strip Transit Center, which is the terminus. And for those of you who don't know, the 24-hour bus pass for the RTC, it comes in at $8 for non-locals. So not a bad price. The time from the South Terminal Transit Center to the MusMus experience comes in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Now, for this ride, what I did was I cut out all of the stops and starts for lights or for picking up passengers. And originally the video was 58 minutes long because I got started late. And so it cut down to like 28 minutes. So there's at least 30 minutes of stopping and starting when you're riding from the transit center to the MusMus experience. I didn't realize it was that long, but I was surprised. Then again, I'm surprised very easily. All right, so as you can see, it was a lovely day on the strip. I really like how this looks. You have some nice clouds, the Mandalay Bay with its gold or yellow color. I still don't know the official color of the exterior of the Mandalay Bay. If someone knows, do chime in. I'm just curious as what the color name is. Gold, yellow gold, Las Vegas gold, not really sure. But it looks great. The clouds have to break up the standard blue sky, and I was really enjoying this ride. As I mentioned earlier, it was pretty noisy, so hence the voiceover, but I had a good time. There were some tourists from, I think, Texas, where there were a bunch of ladies, and they were having a grand old time on the bus, you guys. Now, I do recommend riding the Deuce. It is, for me anyway, a lot of fun. As long as you're upstairs, you get a good view, and if you can snag those front 4 seats with the bay window, as this view is showing, it really makes for a nice ride on this day. I was just hanging out and killing time, you guys. I hadn't ridden the Deuce for a long time from the transit center going north to the MusMus experience. I wanted to give it a go and have some fun. And so I got out the GoPro, hooked it up, and let it fly. For those wondering about those 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone standing in the desert, that is the defunct Ferris wheel that never was, called the Sky View. Never really got started, never really got off the ground. It conked out, and those are the remains. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. I can hear that being said at the top of the high roller. Let's talk F1 Grand Prix. The F1 Grand Prix, the dates have been firmed up. It will be November 16 to 18, 2023. I have never been to an F1 race, so I do a little bit of research, just a very little bit of research, and the races should be done in under 2 hours. I heard that I read somewhere this is going to be a night race, and somewhere in the contract or the letter of intent or something, whatever it was, they said all events will be finished by 1:30 a.m. One thing to take note of is in November of 2023, sundown is around 4:30 p.m. So you figure sundown, get past the golden hour, blah, blah, blah. So by 5:30ish or so, it should be as dark as it's going to get. So you can expect the race, I presume, to start any time after 5:30. Now, because I'm not really big or don't really know who the players are in F1, not really. You may hear some names here and there, but from what I understand, this is a huge event, and a lot of international travelers will probably come to Vegas. You know, some of them maybe for the first time to get out here. So hopefully the city will put on its best face, get these streets nice and smooth, up to standard, and not nickel and dime everyone who comes across to hang out for the F1. So if you're local and you beat it, have a good time wherever you are. If you're local and you're stuck here or you want to stay here, let's hope they don't really try to, take us to the cleaners. You know what I mean? All right. Now, also in the same time period of the F1 race, the MSG Sphere is to be complete. Now, the MSG Sphere is on the course, and the drivers will be going past that X amount of times as they make their loops. So you can imagine that a lot of the news reports will talk about the MSG Sphere, the biggest, circular or round building in the world sort of thing. And so it really has to be done and ready to go. One more item. Fontainebleau is also due to open in the fourth quarter 2023. So fourth quarter 2023 is looking quite exciting. Opening of the MSG Sphere, Fontainebleau, and the F1 Grand Prix. Let's hope all open on time and without any glitches, and Las Vegas can put its best foot forward and make everybody happy. As we come up onto the Tropicana, it reminds me always now of the Open Athletics and their talk about moving to Vegas. As far as I know, there are still some sort of negotiations. In fact, last week, Phil Ruffin, the chap who owns Circus, Treasure Island, and the Las Vegas Festival Grounds. Now, it's said that the rumor is that he's talking to Open Athletics about opening or creating a stadium on that Las Vegas Festival Grounds. Of course, I saw just one report on that under ballparkdigest.com for the report of August 1st. So, who knows, you guys, what's going to go on with this thing, right? Who knows? Now, Raising Cane's, that chicken strip place, which has the chicken strips and the nice sauces, they opened up a shop here on the strip. I went there, I guess the first day or second day they opened up. Order on the ground floor, dining on the second floor, and to be honest, the dining felt a little cramped to me. It felt kind of small. Now, the food tasted fine. It's just okay, really. The chicken strips are kind of bland, and they really need that sauce to, really push it along. I guess that's their thing. Just the sauce. Get the fish. Get the chicken fried correctly with a decent batter, somewhat flavorless, decent batter, and then dip it in the sauce, and boom, you're on your way. So it's okay. I think I paid $12 for 4 strips with some fries and a soda pop. That's all right. That little strip mall which had the Fat Burger is no more. That land up to Harmon, which will include the Hawaiian Experience, about 8 acres, was purchased by Tillman Fertitta, and he or his group will build a new casino. Now, I have not seen any issuance of when it's going to start construction and when it's to be completed, but that is on the cards, so hopefully it will be a nice casino. Remember, it's the same group that owns the Golden Nugget on Fremont Street, so hopefully it will be a nice place. The Miracle Mile Shops is undergoing an extensive renovation. They're going to have new flooring, lighting, ceiling, sound system, and their completion date is scheduled for spring 2023. Now, I do like the Miracle Mile Shops. It houses some nice restaurants, some nice shopping, and hell, Ocean One is there. One of those great places for low-cost meals, which I do enjoy. So let's hope they finish on time, spring 2023, and let's hope it looks great and the majority, or the vast majority of patrons are satisfied with its new look.
Next week. Don't laugh at me when my skin's feeling at work. Put on some clothes and we won't even see it.
Paris Casino and Hotel. Martha Stewart is opening a new restaurant called The Bedford. Now, I am not sure of the exact opening date. I should know these things. However, reservations can be made now, which means I probably should check on the internet and find out the opening date, but I did not do that, and I will leave that up to you as part of our interactive tour of the Las Vegas Strip. Please check. Once again, Martha Stewart's The Bedford opening at the Paris Casino Hotel. Looks nice. Now, you may have noticed there is some construction in front of the Bally's Bazaar. Now, it's going to be a music venue called Rockwood Music Hall. I had never heard of this place. I looked it up, and I believe they have a place in New York. No info on the opening date, so hopefully next year sometime. I hope it doesn't drag out. So we will see what happens with that. How about some statistics? June 2022 was the busiest month ever for the airport here, with 4.683 million passengers passing through the place. Not bad. That's about 240,000 or so passengers up from June 2019. Now, for the first 6 months of 2022, gaming revenue in Clark County came in at $6.254 billion, which is up 20% compared to the same time period in 2019. However, visitor volume is still down a bit. It's down by 12% for the same time period. Hotel rooms booked down by 13%. But here's the kicker. The average daily room rate is up by 20%. So the volume is down for booked rooms by 13%, but the price is up by 20% compared to 2019. Wow. Just wow. I would not be surprised if the visitor volume by the end of the year does surpass 2019. The decrease from 2019 to 2022 has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's see what happens.
But I know they're going to see Usher tonight too.
The Mirage. As we all know, the Mirage will become the Hard Rock, and the Volcano will be replaced. And there'll be like it will have a guitar tower for the hotel, which is fine. But I think a lot of folks will be disappointed once that Volcano goes away, because it is a nice show. It's a little bit of fire, some music, and I've always enjoyed it. Now, there is no word on the date as to when all this will happen, so essentially keep watching the news and it should pop up eventually.
I was going to stay for my father-in-law's birthday, so she got up the next morning and hung on. I tried to get her to take a BC, but she didn't take it, so she had a headache. 21. So wait. She gonna remember that.
Okay, so we have some time, so I thought I would tell you guys about my track and field time in Tokyo. So now, before I went to Japan, I was working in San Francisco, and I sent a fax to Track and Field News. It was a track and field magazine, asking them, hey, do you know how to get in contact with any of the Masters events in Tokyo? Masters events for track and field means it's like age groups, so 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, and so on. And I think if you're after like maybe 80 years old or 75 years old, it's maybe one big age group. But if you do set a record, it'll be like an age record. If you set like a world record or whatever, or something like that, I think that's how it works. Anyway, the guy faxed back, and someone saw it at the office before I did. And he said, oh yeah, well, I don't know anything. Well, good luck, have fun wherever you're going. Okay. So like I said, someone saw the fax, so now I'm in the office, and the boss goes, hey Ken, come here. Hey boss, how's it going? Yeah, I heard you going to Tokyo. Eep. And he got in my face. Anyway, get to Japan, and I was living in a city called Hachioji, which is about 25 miles west of Tokyo. So it was Sunday, I wasn't working, and I thought to myself, you know what, I want to see the National Stadium. The National Stadium is where the 1991 World Athletics Championships was held, and I wanted to see the exterior. I saw it on TV. It was an exciting event, and so I wanted to see it, right? I'm a track and field fiend. Oh yeah, go, 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 go. So hop on the train, find the place, no problem. Proud of myself. And remember, I've only been in town, maybe in country, maybe a month or so. I think a month, maybe a month and a half. So I wasn't really proficient on using the train. Anyway, found the place, no problem. Walk around at the exterior, looking around. Hey, this is pretty cool, blah, blah, blah. And then I hear the sound of a starter pistol. I said, wait a minute. There's a meeting going on right now. Let's go inside. So I walked in, no charge. Grabbed a seat and watched some event going on. I forgot what it was. It was a long time ago. Stayed for maybe an hour or so, watched some events. All right, cool, all right. Had a good time. Went home. Fast forward, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, I'm back in Tokyo riding the train, and this guy I saw had a program from that track and field meet, which I remembered. I said, oh, wait a minute, hey, I know that label, that cover of the book, okay. So hello to the guy, and he tells me, oh yeah, hey, yeah, I saw you at the track meet. I was like, oh, you did? And I thought, well, yeah, it makes sense, right? I don't look Japanese, right? So if someone saw me somewhere, they might remember. He was a master's athlete running in Japan, Japanese guy. And then he said, hey, listen, I will introduce you to the track and field master's program here, and that way, if you want to, you can run. I said, oh, thank you. So he showed me how to sign up for the meetings and how to find the meetings and so on. And so, or he would tell me when they were, and so I signed up, and that's how I was able to join the track and field masters in Tokyo. A very truncated short version of the story. So what was interesting is that these meetings were not free. You had to pay. But this is like a long time ago, so there was no online payments, nothing like that. You had to pay in cash and mail in your application with your name, your address, what age group, and the events you wanted to do. You mailed it in with the cash and an envelope through the post office. And that surprised me because, we're Americans, but they always tell us, do not send mail through the post office. But Japan had these specially designated envelopes, which I forgot the name, which were designed or designated as being cash envelopes. So you put your cash in there, you address it, and I think you put how much is in there on the outside the envelope. I think that's what you did. This is a long time ago, you guys. And then you got a little ticket or receipt, I think, and you mailed it in. Now, I don't remember if you ever got a receipt of payment or you just showed up. I don't remember getting one. So, but when you got to the track meet, they had the program. You looked in the program, and your name was there, and your events were there, and everything was fine. I never, ever had a problem. But it did surprise me how they had the system of just sending cash. So if you want to hear more about my track and field stuff, let me know in the comment section. I'll tell you more stories. But that was basically how it got started. My going down to the National Stadium, take a look at it, going to getting lucky and seeing an event going on, and meeting the guy like 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later on the train. He said, hey, you know what? I saw you. Oh, one more thing, which is really funny, is that, like I said, I was living in Hachioji, and the the Masters Track and Field Association for Tokyo was actually in Hachioji, maybe a 4 or 5 minute bicycle ride from where I was living. A small world, right? Me and my bicycle's been around forever. All right, you guys, let's continue the ride. Addendum. One thing I should have mentioned is that these stadiums I went to, for example, the National Stadium, in fact, I did run some races there and I did work out there. Those are publicly funded facilities, so everyone has the right to use them by paying a modest daily fee or paying it for a monthly pass. That really surprised me because here I was in the USA watching the World Championships, and then I'm in Japan and I get to work out and also race on the same track. Quite good. And so that's why there are a lot of that's not why, but there are a lot of stadiums around Japan, and I believe most, if not all of them, are publicly funded, and the citizens have a right to go down there, pay their way, hop on the track, the weight room, the aerobics area or whatever and use them and just have a great time. So that was really, really good, because you figure that if your taxes are going to pay for something, then you should get use out of it. So well done to that, and I really enjoyed. And one last thing about the track and field, I was in one race one time, and you know how those stadiums have a big, what do you call it? I guess a jumbotron. And I was running in, I think, the 400 meters or whatever on the backstretch, and the jumbotron was on, and I could see myself running. And the weird part was, I was watching myself run. Hey, that's interesting. But there was a time delay between my running and what was on the screen. So I kind of stumbled a little bit because it just was like a, what do you want to call it? An illusion? I don't know. But it threw me off. So I had to stop watching myself run and just concentrate on the race. Anyway, haha. Very interesting. So anyway, now back to the bus ride. Thank you.
I do just what they said. And the morning blue is warning you. The avalanche is storming through in the dawn of the morning blue. Just take me away. Every season and the patriotic treason, the ringing of the bells, the avalanche of sorrow and the soul afraid to borrow. There is not a day tomorrow, it's all about today. And the morning blue is warning you, this avalanche is storming in the dawn of the morning blue. Just take me away. Set me free, and I will be afraid enough to find it. Take my hand, or take a stand, and I would never mind it. Sit and stare, or say a prayer for all you left behind. Call me, just never be the last one left in line. Oh. This morning on the wrong side of bed, I should have stayed in bed and slept all day instead. There ain't no profit in this day that lies ahead. These blurry images still echo in my head. Is storming through in the dawn of the morning blue. And the morning blue is warning you, this avalanche is storming through in the dawn of the morning
And we are back from our brief music interlude. That was Josh Woodward, his album The Simple Life, song Morning Blue. I always like that tune. Alright, so we're downtown. We just passed through the Arts District where they have the First Fridays at, and now we're still heading towards the Fremont Street Experience. Soon, not soon, but in this area there are tons of bail bond shops. If you get knocked up. Oh, if you get locked up, you have a lot of choices for the people to help you regain some semblance of freedom. To the left we have the Bonneville Transit Center. This is the main hub for all the buses. We can go pretty much anywhere in the valley when you're coming here. Now, it's an interesting place. There are a lot of characters hanging around. Some folks have had some really bad run-ins with life and that sort of thing. And it's just, one of those things. But security is pretty tight here. Well, I should say security does seem pretty tight here. As whenever I'm running around this area, there's always security just, doing the thing, telling some folks who misbehave to move along. Or actually, I've seen some people get arrested down here. But that's just, I guess, bus stops everywhere, or bus stops in a lot of different areas. Like I mentioned, there is the bail bonds places around here, as the jailhouse is somewhere in this area, and someone pointed out to me before, but I cannot remember exactly where it is, and actually I don't want to know where it is, but it is down here somewhere. And of course, with jailhouses come the bail bonds places and the lawyers' offices, which are also scattered about. There's a federal courthouse down here, some other federal buildings. This is what I would call, downtown in a city, right? You got all these major things going on. But it was a good ride. It was only, like I said, 58 minutes, knock out 30 minutes for the stops and starts. It came up to about a 28-minute ride. Quite enjoyable. Once again, I thank those ladies on the bus who were, cracking me up with those little stories. They were talking Overall, a good time. To the right, you can see the D over there. We're getting close to the end, and that should just about do it. And like I always say, see me outside, say hello, and I'll say hello back. Take care, wherever you are, and have a great day. And thanks for coming along on this nice, enjoyable ride. Talk to you again soon. Later. Alright, you guys, that about do it. I think I will do a voiceover on this. Alright, anyway, later.